Hi everybody, thanks for joining me on today on Christine's Awesome Things, and today we're going to be harvesting potatoes out here in Zone 6A, Michigan. One of the things that you want to know about harvesting potatoes is that you know when it's time to harvest potatoes when the leaves turn brown and the stem turn yellow. And also at the end of September is always about the best time to harvest potatoes. Now over here, if you notice that these potatoes over here, some of the stems have turned brown, but as you see, these ones at the top are still green. So these are not quite ready to be harvested just yet. Still green. Some of them are dying, but you got all this green at the top. You want to harvest your potatoes when the green is completely dead, as in over here. Once your plants die off and all the green up here has gone, you can go ahead and start harvesting your potatoes. Now what I like to do when I harvest my potatoes is that I'll cut the stem down to soil level. I'm going to cut this all the way down to soil level, the stem here. And I am going to actually leave those potatoes in the soil for a good week. Instead of harvesting them and leaving them out in the open to cure for 10 to 12 days, I'm going to actually just leave them in the soil. Now, I've already done that over here. So these ones have already, the stem has been cut down and everything, and they're actually been in this soil for about 2 weeks. So the skin of this should be nice and hard on the potatoes. Now remember that when you grow potatoes, one potato seed is equal to one plant, and you'll get about 3 to 6 potatoes out of that one plant. So don't expect this big old crop of potatoes when you are doing potatoes. And if you're a first timer, you'll learn that when you actually do your potatoes or harvest them. Now also it depends on the size of the bags you're using. The bigger the bags, the bigger the potatoes will be. If you're using a 5-gallon container, don't expect to get big potatoes, okay? This right here is actually 7-gallon potatoes, and it was 1 seed potato in here. So we're going to go ahead and dump this bag out and see what we got. Kind of press it down like this to make it easier. This actually has a flap, and for me it makes it a bit easier to get this out. It's always better to use gloves, of course, but there we go. You see already we have potatoes. And again, this was just 1 seed potato. See, when I rub it, the skin is not coming off. That is a good sign that they've been cured. Look at that. It's another one. That one has a bit of green on it, and they kind of form together trying to make one potato. Another potato. Now again, like I said, this was from 1 seed potato, and it also depends on how big your grow bag will be. That was a 7-gallon grow bag. So here you have it. these are the potatoes right here. Not a big harvest, and I was not expecting a big harvest of potatoes because, you know, depending on what you're using, how big your grow bags are and such. And again, that was just a 7-gallon grow bag. Now I have bigger containers over here with potatoes in it, and I don't grow a lot of potatoes. I used to grow them in the ground, but I find that growing potatoes in the ground is inconvenient because you got to use a pitchfork, and you know, you end up hitting the pitchfork, the potatoes with the pitchfork, and they get stuck on your pitchfork, and then potatoes always end up getting left in the ground when I was growing them in ground. So I started using grow bags, which is more convenient for me and easier to harvest them. So again, this is the harvest from my potatoes. This is actually the second harvest because I have already harvested one pot of potatoes. All right, so this has been Christine of Christine's Awesome Things. Like and subscribe.